Alrighty guys, Tucker here from Pre-Launch Profit. Thank you for landing on this video. Thanks for checking it out. And today in this video, I'm actually going to show you my very first interview that I ever did when it came to entrepreneurship. I was freaking out when I heard that I actually got this interview. So I'm really excited to actually show you it. It's with Neil Patel. And you're going to learn about it a little bit inside of the video, what he's done if you haven't heard of him, but you probably should know about him by this time just for how many things he's done. But anyway, so what you're going to be learning I've been doing this for 4 years. I've been doing this since I was 4 years old, for 4 years, and it's been a long journey. It's definitely been a struggle sometimes, and it's been super fun to actually see where, I'm kind of embarrassed. I'm really embarrassed at watching this, and I probably wasted so much of his time, but it's really cool seeing how much I've actually grown since this interview. Like I said, this interview I think was done about 2 years ago. So it's really cool. I'm really excited to show you. Back in the day, I was doing independent contractor work for Office Depot. Basically, I was delivering boxes, okay? I was delivering boxes for businesses, had my own business and that kind of stuff. And since then, I actually grew and started to grow other businesses with social media. And in this video, we're going to learn more about SEO. So I had no idea what SEO was. I did to an extent, just, blogging and whatnot, content creation. But I really just wanted to learn how to do SEO, but it was more on the launching standpoint. We actually learn from Neil, one of the most profitable things that you can do is actually grow an audience, which is why he started blogging. He started doing all this SEO stuff. So in this video, that's what you're going to learn, but come at it more from a product launch standpoint, since that was what I was going to focus on at that time. So have fun watching. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys after the video. Thanks. Hey there everybody, Tucker here from Pre-Launch Profit, and I wanted to thank you for joining me here today. And today I actually have a very wonderful guest, Neil Patel. And just a little bit about him. Neil Patel is the co-founder of Crazy Egg and Hello Bar. He helps companies like Amazon, NBC, GM, HP, and Viacom grow their revenue. The Wall Street Journal calls him a top influencer on the web. Forbes says he is one of the top 10 online marketers. And Entrepreneur magazine says he created one of the 100 most brilliant companies in the world. He was recognized as a top 100 entrepreneur under the age of 30 by President Obama, and one of the top 100 entrepreneurs under the age of 35 by the United Nations. Neil has also been awarded congressional recognition from the United States House of Representatives. So Neil, I think we've had a great little warm welcoming for you, but just to cover the basics, let's just hear a little bit about you.
Yeah, I'm just an average Joe. I'm a serial entrepreneur, marketer. I love helping other people out. I just enjoy watching small businesses grow and blossom and hopefully becoming larger one day.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to especially help our audience understand, because this is the podcast Pre-Launch Profit, I want to help our audience understand what it takes from being a startup, starting from the beginning, and then getting to where, for instance, where someone is of your status today. So go ahead and give just a brief history about yourself, starting from like high school and then where you've gone, and then we'll go from there with a couple of questions that I have.
Sure. So when I was in high school, I started my first online business. I paid a marketing agency. I got no results. I was broke. I was frustrated. And I had no choice but to learn marketing myself. From there, I got good at it. My site started generating traffic, but I generated no revenue. And I realized that I didn't know how to make money, but I did know how to drive traffic to a site. I decided to switch gears, and instead of focusing on my own website, I wanted to help other people generate traffic as well. My first client was a power supply manufacturer. I helped them grow by another $25 million a year in sales. And then from there, I did so well with that company that the owner, he introduced me to Countrywide, Bank of America, which is now Bank of America, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and a few other customers. And technically, he indirectly introduced me. His son owned an ad agency, and he said, "This guy made us good money. You should see if he can do anything else for your customers." And that's how I got the others.
Okay. Okay, so how did you learn, just starting off, you obviously started it in high school. How did you learn everything? So did you start in high school learning SEO?
I did.
Okay, and so that's
SEO is the main form because you have to keep in mind social media marketing wasn't around back then.
right, right. Yeah.
Content marketing, it wasn't that popular. So I
No
stuck
Facebook.
with no, there was no Facebook. I started with SEO and then I grew from there.
Okay. So I think Google especially has changed up a bunch of stuff since definitely back then, but like what is the difference now with SEO compared to what it was back in the day? Like how can our audience, what can they do today to actually start working on building up traffic to their site?
Yeah, the thing that people can start doing now to build up traffic to their site is to start off by writing really good information and content. Content is king. Bill Gates said that years ago, and it became true, in which the more educational information you put out there, the better off you are. And that's what ranks really well on Google, naturally. Just look at Wikipedia. They rank for everything under the sun.
Right. I actually looked at Wikipedia to actually see a little bit more info about you, so definitely know about that. But no, just my main goal, my main focus is to actually help people get to where they want to go and create the lifestyle, to launch the lifestyle that they want with their own courses, ebooks, informational products, etc. So let's actually start with one of your products that you've actually done, and go ahead and take us through like the beginning steps, like the steps to prepare, the steps that you took to like either launch a product or to get it to where it was, and then the post steps, post launch to say, on what you did after the fact.
Yeah, so you're saying, well, how do I go from just creating a product to launching it?
Yes.
As in like how I created it step by step, or more so how am I getting it out there?
Both.
Okay, so to create a product, I typically interview potential customers and I figure out what they really want. From there, I try to build exactly what they want. And not what they say like, oh, I would love this, I would love that. I try to get to the problem. Like, what's the problem that you're facing that you want me to solve? And then I come up with the ideal solution from them versus them just telling me the solution. Because sometimes they don't know what solution they want or what's best for them.
Okay.
So I create the course, I'll outline it. Before I create it, I'll actually have them review the outline. If they like the direction, great, I'll start creating it. If they don't, I'll start modifying it and get more feedback. As I create parts of the course, again, I'll get feedback just to see what they think. Then from there, I take the course and I market it. The way I market it is through webinars. So I'll create a webinar that gives away some of the course for free. And then at the end saying, do you want more? Then buy now. And that model works because it's like a freemium approach, kind of like software. Yeah. And then if they want more, they can buy it. And I think that's where people screw up because they tell them, hey, I'm going to teach you all these things and here's how much it's going to cost. Well, yeah, you can sell that way, but why not just give them some stuff for free so they can see the value? If it's really that valuable, why wouldn't they want to pay for it?
Okay, so on that approach, would you say it is actually smart to build up your audience first before you are creating a product, an informational product like an ebook or a course?
You're saying building the audience before you build the course, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, you should always do that. The reason being is you can then figure out what your audience wants. The audience is the hard part. That's immediate. That's a valuable asset. It's not the course. Yes, the course teaches people who pay for it, but you more so have to figure out the product, building them up.
Okay, so just cool. I like that. So going from there, would you say it's actually smarter to find certain people that you're wanting to target, find out a problem or something, like you said before, interview people, and then come up with a solution, present it to them, keep them engaged, and then tell them where to go from there?
That's correct.
Okay, cool. Because, especially for me back in the day when I made my first ebook, I had no idea what I was doing. I wrote the whole thing, got the ebook cover done, and I put it up on Amazon. And to make a long story short, I actually did not sell a lot of copies, and I wondered why. First off, it was my title, because no one was willing to look up you plus them equals job. it's a connections building. So obviously, helping people get jobs with, making connections. But it's because no one knew about it. Like, why would you type that in? So first of all, there was bad marketing. I didn't ask anybody if anyone wanted it. And then third, it was just the title. So what's your favorite project or product that you've ever come up with?
My favorite product that I've ever come up with is probably the current one, the advanced marketing program, because I put so many years into research into it.
Okay, go ahead and explain a little bit about what it does.
It just teaches you how to do marketing like the way I know. So it takes everything that I've learned and bundle it up, and it's what I use to train my team members and employees.
Okay, cool. So you've already like put all this information together, and now you're not only teaching others how to do it, but you're teaching also your team as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
exactly.
cool. Good, I like that. Just to shift gears a little bit, just for our listeners especially, what is, coming from you, you seeing what's going on in the world, what do you think is one thing that people could go into right now that is profitable?
What's one thing that people can go into that's profitable right now?
Yeah, whether it's
building the audience. You can always monetize it 10 different ways from Sunday, but the audience is the hardest part to build up, and that's what most people don't focus on.
Okay, cool. So people actually get it inverted.
Yeah.
Okay.
People try to sell before they have the audience. I say build the audience and then try to sell.
Build an audience. Well, yeah, because then you got to have that know, like, and trust factor. I mean, I've done door-to-door sales before. I've done just anything really. Tried to sell my own product, air quotations, but really, it's coming down to building up that audience. So I would say that's definitely in the pre-launch stage. What would you say? What are some like tactics or strategies that you would use to actually launch the product? Launch period. What would you do?
Launch wise, what I would do is I would figure out who has email lists that's relevant to my audience and have them build up the hype. So I'd do a JV partner deal with them where maybe they get 50%, 40 on the low end, 75 on the high end. And they warm up their list to you and your product, and then they promote it. So that way it all happens during a specific time period and you close off a product. And the reason you close off is you notice quite a bit more sales when you close off products.
Okay, with the launch stage, what would you do to continue to make sure that there's success after the entire launch?
That's where you take your blog audience and you continually promote it to them. You don't stop promoting, but you need the audience first, and that's what most people go wrong. They try to build a product before the audience. I would spend a year building an audience before I build a product.
Really? Wow. Okay, so an entire year. I've actually heard a lot of people that actually do that. They spend an entire year, whether it's a blog, course, whatever, just building up an audience, making sure that people trust them, and then going from there. How quickly? What is something that you could recommend to our audience that would actually help them to engage, to obviously build that audience, but to not come off either salesy or, a person with their own calendar to say like they know obviously that they want to sell, but how would you define what is the smartest way to build an audience without coming off, schemy?
Yeah. What do you mean by coming off as schemy?
Well, good question. So I know a lot of people, they have a really hard time building up that audience because they just want to sell, right away. So then the people obviously know that this guy's just trying to sell, whatever he has, and they actually just end up either unsubscribing or they just drop off. So they don't become interested. So what is something that you would recommend to help the people have good intentions?
Well, you just have to be honest. It's really up to you and how you want to represent your brand. If you wouldn't be proud of it, why would you do it? Right? I could sell really hard and be sleazy and dupe people, but that's not my brand and I refuse to do it. So you just got to figure out what resonates with you and how willing or unwilling you are to push the boundaries. I'm not that willing to push the boundaries.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm definitely one for more face-to-face engagement. More, taking the longer time, but a lot of people that actually have a, easier time connecting with people to, get it like off started quickly. What is it that you use to build your audience?
I just use blogging, so I'll like take WordPress and write content and promote on Facebook and Twitter. That's the process I use.
Okay. Do you use, I have been seeing some webinars, and you did mention that before. Do you use Facebook ads?
I don't use any ads.
No ads at all.
No, I get organic traffic. I get all like 180,000 unique visitors a month. Yeah, on my personal blog. My other blogs are much larger.
Oh my goodness. That is so cool. So all organic. That's amazing. I was thinking that you actually used, Facebook ads. Would you consider that to be the best way, or would you consider like paid advertising? What would you consider would be best?
I think organic is the best way. It converts way better. Paid advertising works as well. You can scale faster. It just doesn't convert as well as organic traffic.
Because people, you have a deadline on your end, or people aren't interested, or when you actually have someone searching for it because of SEO, they're more engaged because they're looking for it.
Yes, they're more engaged because they're looking for it. When someone sees an ad on Facebook, they're not necessarily looking for what you're selling.
Okay, cool. Do you have any recommendations or any other strategies that you could actually give the audience, or even maybe like a gift or something that you could give in return for them to follow?
Yeah, I would just say send people to like the neilpatel.com homepage, because that's where they have a webinar sign up.
Okay, cool. Neil, I just wanted to thank you again for this time, for being here, for helping out our audience. And is there any other advice that you would give to help people progress to move forward?
Just be consistent with your online marketing. It takes a long time to build a brand, a reputation, an audience. And if you're consistent, eventually you'll be able to monetize it, but just give it time and be patient and keep at it.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And then where can actually our audience find you?
neilpatel.com, neilpatel.com.
Boom. Okay, thank you, Neil. Cool, guys. Wasn't that an awesome interview or what? I really do appreciate your time watching this, and I super appreciate his time actually, going through this, being interviewed and whatnot. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please comment, pound that like button below, and then subscribe. So if you guys have anything, let me know. I'm more than willing to help you guys out, and I will catch you guys later on the next video. Thanks.